Hi guys, welcome back to the Road Down to New York.
I'm Richard.
I'm Carlos.
And before we go any further, we hope that you and your families are staying safe during these uncertain times. A global pandemic puts life into perspective for a lot of us. I know you have lost about 6 coworkers or 6+ coworkers in the last 2 months. I've been fortunate enough to not to have anyone closely affected in the sense of losing anyone to the virus itself, but have had colleagues whose families have either contracted COVID themselves or have subsequently passed away. So our thoughts and prayers are with you and your families during this time. But during the quarantine, we decided to do a video about the, as you like to call it, the quarantine effect. What is it like being home with your significant other for quite a bit of time? And what impact does that have on your relationships, for good, bad, or ugly? And so we're going to call this the quarantine effect. Before we do anything else, y'all know what to do. Click like, share, comment down below, and if you want to be notified about the content that we push out, click the bell at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Do not forget what we're coming after you. Okay. What, too strong?
So, I guess the conversation is going to be serious, but also truthful. I'm not a comedian, but I'll just speak from where I stand. I think it's necessary for folks to recognize that it shouldn't take a quarantine or a shutdown for you to have hobbies or try to strive for a balanced life. But for those who is still on their path of finding out what balance looks like, we're going to address that as well. So we were talking about the other day whether or not, since we are in quarantine, whether or not he and I are feeling the stress like some people say they do. And I'll ask him on camera again. Do you feel
why gotta put me on the spot?
It's not on the spot. We have had this conversation. Do you feel trapped on lockdown and feeling the pressure, or what? How you feel?
I have days, not about feeling trapped, but I have days where, as you all know, my entire family, or my nuclear family, if you will, is up in New York. And so there's the distance of knowing that my mom, for example, works in the hospital and she's exposed every single day. That does play a role in feeling not helpless, but feeling a ways. Obviously, if I was in New York, I couldn't be next to her anyway. But the point is that at least knowing that I was close enough in case something were to happen. Don't give me that face. It's real. For some people, that's real. For you, that might not be the case. For me, it is.
Do you recognize that if we were living in New York, my ass would be going to work?
Oh, you would have. I would quit that job a long time ago, friend. Sorry.
Okay.
No.
So
you would not be going into work, and we'll talk about what the reality might have looked like had we stayed in New York. But if we were in New York, your ass would be in that house, not at the hospital. I'll write the resignation letter for you. Bye, bye, Ashley. Nope. But in terms of us, we're fortunate enough to have a big enough house where you can be down here, I can be up here. I can be upstairs, you be downstairs, and we wouldn't have to necessarily be in each other's spaces the entire day.
We had a big space in Brooklyn too. So
the same was true there.
Bottom line is, do you feel the need that you need to be away?
No, it's not that feeling to be away. I think for a lot of us who travel for work or just go to work in general, you have time that's your work time. There's time that is for you and your significant other. There's time with you, your significant other, and your child if you have a child. And then there's time that you are by yourself. And I think what the quarantine has done for a lot of us is blurred the boundaries, or not blurred boundaries, but blurred the lines between what time is yours, what time is ours, what time is the family's, what time is just mine.
I don't think it did that for, I guess speaking for me. I like planting stuff. I like growing my herbs and stuff. So my outlet is not even an outlet, it's something I enjoy. I would prefer, or I would not prefer, I would like to add to that eventually one of these days, a daily workout routine. I haven't gotten around to it yet.
That's not a quarantine thing.
At the end, but again, that's the point. At the end of the day, it's you finding time to do the things you like. Some people know that they don't like working out, but it's something that they have to do, so they make the time to do it. I think the balance we should all seek is to find, not contentment, but find happiness wherever you are.
Okay, but let's just get down and dirty though, right? There are people, and you said this to me the other day too. Studies have shown that domestic abuse rates have increased. Studies have shown that people who are living together, hold on.
Why?
People who are living together, who are trapped together, quote unquote, people have used that term trapped, are literally at each other's throats, ready to file for divorce or ready to walk away from
I'm gonna try to explain, and Lord help me because my mind is, I have issues. No. Because I have multiple thoughts in my head at the same time. So let me pick one thought and say to you. For those individuals who are dealing with abuse in their relationship, the quarantine is not the reason why the abuse is there.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
But again, let me finish. The behavior of how boyfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever they are, significant others, the bad behavior is already there. Now put that into a quarantine situation, it's now times 10. If you're ever in an abusive situation, there's hotlines and phone numbers you guys can call, and probably websites you can find that would help walk you through the process of whether either fixing the issue by counseling or whatever, or just finding a safe haven, because no one should be in a physical, verbal, mental, psychological abuse. So for me, I think we're not necessarily fortunate, but we've worked out the kinks in our relationship in the beginning.
No, I still want to strangle you sometimes. Like that's not a lot of the people. There's sometimes I want to strangle the shit out of you, but I don't, because jail. I don't look good in orange. So, but I'm not gonna lie and say everything is perfect either. No one is perfect.
There's no relationship is perfect.
But what we are saying though is that when you are in a situation where you had an escape, whether it is work, gym, walking, friends, family, you name it, you've got it, and you don't have it anymore, and you're now forced to be in a situation with your significant other where day in, day out, hour after hour, particularly if you're in a situation where you have a smaller space like a studio apartment and you literally have no place to go but the bathroom to have any time to and by yourself. And on top of that, if you're in an unhealthy relationship as it is, that is a recipe for disaster.
But also,
and so as you said, so as you said, in those situations, for those people, there are hotlines and resources that you should use to be able to either cope or get out of that situation, because as you said, no one should be there. It's in a quarantine where it's almost like a pressure test, right? You are in close proximity with the person you're with, and outside of going to the bathroom, potentially, depending on where you live, walking outside might not be an option for you, depending on what's happening. How then do you deal with that? Are you discovering new parts of your partner that you like? Are you discovering parts about yourself that you don't like? Are you using that opportunity, if at all possible, to strengthen your relationship, or are you realizing that it's not the right person for you? People are finding themselves in various situations, and the question you have to ask yourself is, which situation are you in?
But we also don't want to necessarily focus on the so-called extreme, because there are people who are finding out through the quarantine situation that they're more in love with the person that they're now quarantined with.
It's not all negative.
That probably planning some weddings after this situation.
And folks are getting married virtually now, even during quarantine. Yeah. And I really do want to shout out all the couples who've gotten married whose plans to get married have been upended because of the pandemic, but have found ways to celebrate their unions with their family and friends, even if it's virtually.
Yeah, so there's love there, but there's also tragedy. There's also, you know, for single individuals who are just saying, you know what, I'm going to take this time to pray.
People are still dating and hooking up. Let's be very clear about that.
Yeah, but
this is not a.
But we get there. For those individuals who are spending the time self-searching, building their faith, having some kind of balance, kudos to you as well. The ratchet individuals who are still sneaking out in garbage bags, pretending pretending that you're garbage on the side of the road, just to sneak over.
You saw the video too, huh?
So, you know, it's necessary for you guys to recognize also that if you don't know the person that you're laying down with, that you're planning to hook up with, it's not a good thing to get an infection right now that you have to go to the emergency room. So be very cautious.
Right. But ultimately, the first thing is you're either realizing, to your point, really good things about the person you're with, or you're realizing some hard truths about your relationship that you need to confront, whether that is meant to be fixed, or frankly, it's a sign that after things have settled down, then you got to go.
And it's not everything is not called for a breakup. I think that's another thing. I see a lot of people, and I think I was at one point like that, where you had an argument over the toothpaste, and I'm done. I'm walking away.
But your temper is bad. That's why.
My temper is not bad. I think
his temper is bad, and that is why you would say that. A toothbrush?
No.
Toothpaste?
No. There's a deeper reason. It's not just that frustration, but also the person that you're dating could be the trigger for you to lose control.
Right. Well, the second thing during this quarantine is finding time to have, you said earlier, balance, right? For some of us, like me, for example, when you go from traveling all over the place and you have very clear breaks in your schedule to now you're home and the Zoom meetings are back to back to back to back to back to back, you almost feel like not invaded upon. I won't say that, but you almost feel like the boundaries, even for work and home, are even more blurred, because at least at work, you can go someplace, you come back home, you close the door, you're with your family, and the computer's off, right? When you're home during a day now, and your kid is here, and you're homeschooling like we are, you are with Tim, I'm in the office, I'm doing my work, and it's just like a never-ending cycle of work. You sometimes lose the balance, even though you have more home time. Why is everything I say you shake your head?
Because you're being fucking ungrateful. There's a whole lot of folks. If you have the opportunity to work from home, I'm not going to complain for the circumstance of how we are making
nobody said it was
income.
No one said it was
so therefore, in the quarantine that you're locked in the office, which is nicely done, comfortable office, you're not smelling your sweaty partner or other person in the stall next to you, bad breath. It's a nice environment. There's no shouting, there's no bullets flying, you are fortunate to be able to work from home. So my thing is, if you need to unwind, go take a walk around the park, go ride the bicycle, go throw some rocks in the pond someplace. But I think about individuals who are living from paycheck to paycheck, and they would love to trade places, working from home, if that's part of their option. There's none. So for me, I don't ever want to throw that idea away that we're not in a different
but nobody
scenario.
Again, I think you're hearing what I'm saying, and you're thinking that I'm thinking of an extreme. I'm literally saying what it is. Just because.
So you feel that you're bothered by?
No, I never said I was bothered. See,
what is it?
You are projecting. I never said that. What I'm saying is, very specifically, you go from working a job that you have a very clear schedule. There's travel time in between meetings. There is separation between work and home. When you're now working virtually, which to your point is a blessing, I'm not discrediting that, but when you go from working in a place where you have an office space and it's not in your house, or you're traveling to different places and you're coming home, I'm not finished yet, and then you come home, when you come home, the ideal scenario is you can separate work and home, right? When you can't do that anymore because your home is now your office space, whether you have a nice office like we do, or if you're working out of your living room, or for some people I've seen because they have children and they gotta get away, working in their closet, no matter where you're working, it's still working in your house, right? And then you fill your calendar up with meetings because now there's no travel time. You forget to even eat lunch half the time because you're just going. Finding a balance is important. For you, not that it's just a chore, quote unquote. You like being outside in the garden. That for you is comforting in some ways. It's soothing in some ways. It's a balance or an outlet that you have. Sorry, it's an outlet you have to create balance for yourself. Part of it is a necessity, but part of it is you like doing it. You like seeing your tomatoes grow, you like seeing your plants grow, you like going to Lowe's and doing all the things you do. That's something you like to do, no?
Yeah.
Okay, and that for you is a balance. For me,
so you like travel to get away from me?
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. So for me,
so what is it then?
For me, you get upset with me watching, not upset, but you get annoyed with me watching reality TV. For me, that's my escape. It's balance. It's brainless television. By the way, did y'all see the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion? Baby. Anyway, but you know, we all have our things. It's important to have your thing, whether it's walking, biking, in the garden.
Junk TV.
Junk TV. Sketching, journaling, reading, whatever your vice is, you gotta have one. Otherwise, you will go batshit crazy. And it's important that everyone has one. Why do you think old folks knit?
I haven't gone crazy.
It's
something to keep their mind.
Correct.
There's other shit you can do without worrying about knitting to keep your mind.
Okay, well, then if you would like not to knit, then don't knit.
Get on your knees and pray. Pick up the Bible. Google something. There is so much things to be grateful for, and we bitch and complain because we are locked away. Is it the fucking sky falling? Is anybody creeping through your window to snatch your ass and drag you off to jail? No. So in our quarantine situation, and as much as folks used to go clubbing and they used to go do all the shit that they do to be relevant to other folks who don't mean a shit to you 5 years from now, 6 months from now, some of y'all. Where's them friends you hang with 6 months ago? Did any one of them ever pick up a phone and call you and say, dog, how you doing? No. So guess what? You just wasted all that time socializing with people who doesn't matter. You need to spend time with those individuals who have your back, whether there's a quarantine and whether there's no quarantine. What's so funny? What's so funny? You tell me, what's so funny?
It's like Raven Simone when she had her, she was talking to Keely from 3LW. She started laughing. Woo. Wow.
Is the wine too strong?
No, you're missing the point.
But I also think that people need to put aside their ego. A lot of people think that in this disagreement, no matter what the topic is, they have to be always right, or their way is always the right way. I also
That's interesting. Say more.
Majority of the times that we had disagreements, I was fucking right. So don't go there.
Can we continue, please?
Do I need to open up a can of worms?
Nope, the battery's dying.
Okay.
Keep talking.
Anyway, I think it's necessary for us to put ego aside and focus on the real issues that might... If the person is worth fighting for, then put your ego aside, put your pride aside, and get down to the nitty-gritty of what is the issue and resolve it, plain and simple.
Yep. And if you are in a situation where you are not living with the person that you were with, communication even at that point is also very important, because now you have physical distance that's keeping you apart. And so whether it's long distance or another borough to another city within the same state, find ways to communicate, and find ways to do things that are virtual dates, virtual conversations, whatever the case is, that allows you to still have that connection with the person you're with. But connection ultimately is what all of us as humans crave in whatever form that you want, right? Whether it's romantic, whether it's a friendship, whether it's professional, we all need as human beings connection to feel a part of something. And so communication is the best way to strengthen that connection. And so take the time, put in the time, and we hope that we all come out of this on the other end healthy and unscathed, but also happier, if that is at all possible, both with ourselves, our significant others, and people who we choose to be around. So let us know what you think by commenting down below. And again, like, comment, subscribe, and click the bell at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, and we will see you soon.